Hey y'all, it's Pernithia from Everyday Kingdom Living, and really quick, it's 9:45 p.m. I'm supposed to be going to sleep, and I was studying my message for church tomorrow, and part of my message is about David, and God, of course, always alludes me back to marriage and family, and the order that He has for family. So to keep it quick, I was talking, you know, talking through my message, came across the part of my message that has to do with David. And I'm going to say what I wrote in my notes. So David began his training in the field, and he started with protecting his sheep from the lion and the bear. And then as he got older, his training went to the next level. Of course, pretty much God promoting him, and he fought Goliath on behalf of the Israelite army, thus resulting in him getting training for protecting a nation. And then when he started working with King Saul at the time, King Saul, of course, was over the tribe. And thus, when King Saul died, David took over the tribe of Judah, and Israel went their way and was led by whoever, I can't remember who they were led by. And then David, it resulted in David becoming king of both the tribe of Judah and Israel, resulting in him uniting kingdoms. When you think about men and their, I guess, the ordained system that God has for them, when we think about Adam, Adam had a series of things he needed to do. Then God put him to sleep and into a deep sleep, took his rib, created Eve. Thus, there's his wife. When you think about what God is expecting of men in the natural, and y'all can disagree with me, it is fine. I am not the smartest person in the world, and I'm definitely not God. But this is just something that God alluded me to, just one perspective, because there's always several different perspectives based on the season of your life that you're in. So, anyway, when you think about men and the fact that our world, just like they do with women, our world has set a determining like foundation for what the track of a man and a woman should be. So women, are prepared and expected to get married in their early 20s, have kids right away. You grow old with this one person. The man is expected to get married early on, have his kids, get his good job, career, go to school, whatever. Like just following that same like pattern. But when we think about the word of God and we think about how God trained men and prepared men for their families, he usually he took them through like a series of practice, of training, of tests. So if we look at men today and what they would need to do in order to be prepared for something like that, they would have to go through their series of training. They would have to start by stewarding just the things in the field. That means their education, their if a job, becoming an entrepreneur, like whatever that is for them, they have to steward that first. And then it moves up into being promoted to the Goliath size things in their life. So maybe they purchase a home, they're purchasing a vehicle, maybe their business has taken off, maybe they're no longer managing a facility or a corporation or a job. Now they're the owners, they become the CEOs of a big company that they've created themselves. Thus, that's their nation. And then it goes into the tribe because now they're touching millions of people at a time. So now they have this tribe of people that they are touching, and not literally, just people that they are reaching spiritually or reaching with their words, and people's lives are being changed because they're following their purpose, their assignment. So they've already worked in the field, they've been tried and tested in the field, and God promoted them to take over and handle the nation and be stewards over the nation. And then he gives them, okay, well, they're ready, so I'm gonna promote them to take over the tribe. And guess who the United Kingdom is? So like David was able to unite and be king over Israel and Judah. It's their family. It's their family. The world has gotten it twisted. This is my thoughts, what God has revealed to me. Because like I said, there's so many perspectives. I think the world got it twisted when they required men to marry early instead of waiting until they went through certain processes with God to get closer and get to know him so that they could be ready for the kingdom. And the kingdom isn't as big as what you're thinking. The kingdom is right there at home. If you agree with me, it's cool. The kingdom is right there at home, because when a man who finds a wife and believes he's found a good thing and favor in the eyes of the Lord, that wife is also coming with a series of things from God. That wife also has her assignment, her own calling, her own vision. And then when God shows them who each other, who they are to each other, this is your wife, this is your husband, then the vision starts to collide. Then the vision starts to make sense. Then the pieces that may have been missing from your vision, she fills in the blanks. And the piece that were missing from her vision, he fills in the blanks. And they come together and create this system, this kingdom, right within their own homes, thus resulting in that man knowing how to steward a kingdom, because he had all of this practice along the way. He had all of this opportunity to build. So when his wife comes in, everything is prepared for her. And I'm not saying she can't do anything on her own. I'm saying that she was building while she was waiting on him. She was being the Proverbs 31 woman, if you want to reflect back to something. She was gathering the land. She was taking care of the finances. She was taking care of a family if she already has kids. In this day and age, a lot of women already have children before they meet their actual God sent husbands. But she was already, she's doing what she needs to do. And when he comes along, he spent that time working in the field, building up his nation, building up his tribe. So when it's time to build up the kingdom, his home, he can create that legacy by her birthing children with him, or adopting kids, or just being able to reach and teach and preach to a lot of people. They go on a mission. They go on a journey. They take this tremendous trip into what God has called them both to do when they come together. And it becomes this beautiful kingdom oriented, legacy oriented, territory oriented way of living. And I know for a fact that there are women like me that are waiting for men like that to arrive in their lives so that we can take off, because we got purpose. We got purpose out here to fulfill. We got a mission out here to fulfill. We got legacy to bring forth. Like, there's things that God has called us to do, and certain things we just can't do without our spouses. I'm just going to put it out there. Certain things, certain doors don't open until you are with your spouse, the one God ordained for you. And for those of you who are, there's one more thing I'm going to add to this. We see people that are wealthy and it looks like things are going well, but things are going well because they have money. But if you took that money away, you find out, oh, it's not as well or as good as it seems. This is a little tangent, but it's because it's not about the money. When two people of God get together, it's not about the money. It's about alignment. It's about the vision. It's about the mission and the purpose that God has put before them both. And like I said, it fills in the blanks. So that's the thought that came to mind for me when I was studying my message. How we have it twisted about men and what we expect from them. And that's why they don't get enough time to build their relationship with God and grow in it. Remember, there's these videos going around now talking about why God meets women where they are, and men always have to go up to the mountain or up to go meet him. Honestly, because it's all twisted. It is really twisted. Men are built to go through a series of things because they have to steward certain things, I don't want to say that the steward more than the woman does, but it's just a responsibility that is put on each of us, the man and the woman, that is different. And that has to be honored. And in honoring that, you have to give them time to go through that process. Because as a woman, I know for myself, I want to go into my marriage and know that my husband did everything that God asked him to do to prepare for me, because I am doing the exact same thing. I'm doing everything that God told me to do to prepare for him to enter my life. So, yeah, I don't know if this meant anything to anybody, but like I said, that's what came to me while I was preparing my message for tomorrow. So, y'all have a good night. I'm going to sleep. Y'all can tell I'm exhausted. All right, bye, y'all.